goodness. She showed her ass and green. Her name's Nikita. Sings. She debuted on NXT and the fans acted like fiends. Then there's Starlight Kid. Anna zooming for the high speed. Put on a good match and Meltzer pours on hyperbole. And what about Tony? To his cult you can do no wrong. Promise the game changer, but it's just Buddy Murphy. Yeah, it's another week of the same old thing. Wrestling stinks. We'll talk about it because it's time for Mark Out Mania.
I thought you were going to say it's time to show her ass, baby.
Mark Out Mania. It's Saturday morning.
Oh my God.
On Mark Out Mania.
Oh
my goodness.
Good job, Pedro.
Hola, amigos.
She shows her ass. I was like, what are we doing over here?
Hola, amigos. Welcome to the Mark Out Mania. We've got James the Extra. Sorno, how are you?
I am doing better after that rendition. That was good. I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Ready to mark out, baby.
What's that? Oh. It's the God of Thunder. The Road Warrior Scholar. Dark, how are you?
I'm here.
He's at school doing his thing, being a Road Warrior Scholar.
Hey, real fast. So last night, Steffi and I were talking, and she was like sitting on my bed, and like sometimes if you sit on my bed for some reason, a lot of static electricity like builds up, and so she was sitting on my bed, and then she was getting up to go to her room, and she went to like to touch my chest or whatever. And like when her fingers like made contact with my body, I got shocked, like I got normal thing. But she said that I should do "You Shook Me All Night Long" for the theme song today.
Yeah,
that. And so when I was going through the song in my head, I don't know why the first thing that came in my mind was she showed her ass in green. Her name's Nikita, and she sings. So that's how that came up.
That's great.
I heard that first line. She showed her ass in green. I was like, what?
Well, if you watched wrestling at all this week,
yeah, you know exactly what we're talking about. Exactly. That's a big difference in the look from WoW, wasn't it?
You know, it's weird. I saw so many people talking about it. I was like, they're talking about that girl from WoW, like,
yeah.
And then I saw the clips and stuff, and I was like, that's her gear?
No, I saw the whole match. I was watching NXT. Let's just say she needs to know where the camera is, 1. 2, she needs to work on that finish because it's a little weak. And 3, what can you want? You know, people were thirsty. They're like, oh, look at that. You know how people get.
You know, but also it's like because... You know, it's because she's there. She's there in WWE now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, of course, you know, we're going to, you know, take notice because we don't watch anything else. That's why she's such a novelty and such a fresh face because, you know, people don't pay attention to anything that goes on outside of the E.
I only watch the E. That's it. I don't know what wrestling is. I only follow sports entertainment.
But I don't know where they're gonna get much wrestling on US TV at the moment. But Were y'all not shocked by how much of her was on display in that gear?
She wanted to
I
make a
was
statement. She made a statement.
well, I was just kind of surprised. Like this on the WWE, she's showing that much. I don't
No,
know. It was kind of shocking to
Well,
me.
wait a minute. There has been so many
Yeah,
times where we've seen. I mean, remember when like it was just like a regular occurrence that
yeah,
the women were put in super skimpy
yep.
yeah.
outfits.
The attitude, yeah, back in the late
Not,
'90s and early 2000s.
yep. The Divas Championships, all the stupid matches that they
Yeah.
had. Yeah, yeah,
Hey, I
I
mean,
mean,
go back to Sensational Sherry with her ass out,
yeah,
like so.
I mean, especially like the cat,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Sable,
Mm,
I mean, I feel sorry for what a lot of those girls went through. Poor Trish
yep.
doing the terrible bark like a dog thing. I mean, you know,
How many bras and panties match that we had to endure? I mean,
yeah,
that was brutal. I
gravy
mean,
matches. I
yeah,
mean,
the slot match and all that shit.
I was at a SmackDown where they had to and they for some reason they decided that they weren't going to show it during the TV time, but Teddy Long booked a pillow fight match between Stacy and Stacy Keebler and Tori Wilson, and they had it during the commercial break.
Oh my
man.
god.
So
Brutal.
in like 3 minutes, they were able to bring in pillows and an inflatable mattress and had a pillow fight match.
Unreal.
Hey, I heard that there's like a pillow
Unreal.
fight league or something going on. Is this true?
A what?
A pillow fight league. Like there's some kind of pillow
Yes.
fight thing. What is that?
They actually smarted off to me because the on social media they had a bunch of clips up and there was like nobody getting knocked down. I mean, there's people getting hit and girls getting hit and things. And I was like, if I ever need to fall asleep, I can watch this. And they were like, well, you're welcome to come try out. And I'm like going, I didn't say it didn't hurt. I'm just saying that these clips are boring. I mean, nobody's getting knocked off their feet or anything. I mean, they're just smacking each other with pillows.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like, okay.
3 weeks from now, we're going to see Zeus, grab a pillow on top of a pole match.
Yeah. There's not enough clothes to cover me up to go fly like that.
I would probably die just trying to climb the pole to get the pillow. I'd be like,
Same.
It's just like, I mean, how fucking stupid. It's like those slap fighting things.
No, I can't stand that. I think that's ridiculous.
I'm like, you guys are just giving each other concussions.
Yeah. You stand there and get the shit slapped out of yourself. No, and then laugh about it afterwards. No, I'm good. Thank you.
I mean, even if they're not laughing about they're just getting wailed on.
No, I'm good.
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. So
That's the case. Why don't you hold your hands behind your back and let me chair shot you? Same shit.
Well,
I'll
hey,
fucking wail on you.
since we've been talking about this, Nikita, she was on NXT, right? So James, you saw NXT. I didn't see it.
Yes, I did.
What
I barely
happened?
remember it, to be honest with you.
What can you recall?
The only thing that really stands out to me is I like what they're doing with the Dolph Ziggler and with him and Tommaso Ciampa, because they're putting the guy at use. He's not. Dolph Ziggler is no longer doing meaningless job matches or stupid tag team matches where it doesn't go anywhere. He's actually involved in an interesting storyline, and now they brought Bobby Roode into it. So it's good because they're incorporating Braun Breaker and Walter, and a whole bunch of people being incorporated into the storyline. So it's pretty good at what they're doing.
Don't you mean U-boat captain?
No, no Gunther. No, his name is Walter. That's it. And and their match this past Tuesday on NXT was very good because they can go. They had a very good match. So I thought it was good stuff. Yes, we've been talking about the NXT debut of Nikita. What's her name? Her green bodysuit and stuff like that. She just needs to know where the camera is, and she needs to work on her finish because her finish was a little weak. But other than that, since like the people don't know who she is because like all the people in the E don't watch anything else but the E. They were like, "Who's this new young whippersnapper?" No, this is the chick from WoW. Relax,
I mean, to be honest, because I saw people talking about it in like not just social media. I saw like in various wrestling forums that I follow. People talking about it went kind of all across the board. It wasn't just WWE fans.
Good.
It
Well,
was
that's
like
good.
AEW fans and this and that.
Good, good.
They were all talking about her. And I was just,
I mean, she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She got
Yeah.
well, James, when we saw her on WoW, I used to make fun of her gimmick. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little weak. Yeah.
It was cringy.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was.
cringy. And so it's weird to see it here, and people are like, "Oh my god!"
At first, after I saw the first vignette, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I was like, "That's the chick from WoW." I was like, "Please don't tell me she's coming in with the gimmick again with the singing," because I thought they were going to do that, But thank God they didn't, because she's a thick girl. She looked like she could kick some ass,
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how they use her, but it's it's the E, so we'll see.
Right. It's aesthetics first.
Yeah, of course.
James, when you said she's a thick girl who looks like she can kick ass, I immediately thought about Toni Storm.
Yeah, she's in that mold.
Yeah, I was like, well, I was just like, Toni Storm versus this girl needed to happen.
Yeah, but that's where's Toni Storm? Who knows? Toni Storm's gone. Everybody's gone. Cesaro's now gone. Shit happens. It's just, but again, NXT it's starting to get a little better. I'm like, okay, there's actually wrestling going on now. So I'm like, okay, it's not bad. They just started the Women's Dusty Cup, so it should be interesting.
I saw a thing where it said that Cesaro wasn't looking to leave.
No, he wasn't. He was looking to stay, but he wanted to get money similar to what Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and so kept getting. But apparently, I mean, let's be honest. He's what, 41, 42. He's not getting any younger. So I mean,
he's still in amazing shape.
He is. He's a great talent. But is he really going to get Kevin Owens money at this point, or Sami Zayn money?
I mean, it's a weird kind of by the WWE. It's like kind of a weird self-fulfilled prophecy in a way. Like in-ring talent, he's up there. For the
he's probably one of the best,
right?
Yeah,
but he's never been pushed that way.
No.
Last year he won that WrestleMania match against Seth, and then he had a title match against Roman on pay-per-view, and then that's it. Nothing else.
It was like a 3-week one.
So
and that's it.
I mean,
he was in tag teams before that, and then after that, he jobbed to Dominic. So come on,
he's never going to get that main event like push, especially with his age. So he's not going to get. Yeah, he's not. Kevin Owens at least has had the Universal title and stuff like that. You can say, he had a somewhat of a main event run. So yeah, he's not gonna get that.
He wasn't, he wasn't going to get the Seth Rollins money. I mean, he's not going to get that. I mean, is he? Can he sign with another company and go on a run? Absolutely, because if he's booked properly, he's an amazing in-ring talent. I mean, like a few can touch him. I want
what promotion can he sign with that will book properly, James?
That's the issue. You know,
Yeah,
that's the issue.
it's real. It's a real guessing game at this point.
Yeah.
We've got a big vacuum in that a void
Mhm.
for that spot. A promotion that books properly. This does
Yeah,
not exist.
it's tough these days, because Impact tries and Lord knows, but they fail miserably. Okay, I mean, even with the Ring of Honor invasion, it's no. Uh, we're still waiting for Ring of Honor to officially come back.
Oh, when was that supposed to be? In March?
Yeah, the end of this month. I
Or
think
was
the
it
end of
April?
March. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
somewhere.
it's the end of March, beginning of April. You got this new promotion that EC3 and Braun Strowman supposedly
Oh
started
God.
up.
Oh God. Have y'all seen some of the cringy stuff about that
I
promotion?
Yeah, well,
It's becoming like all the people have kind of been canceled and this. Like they might be kind of making
yeah.
their way to this place.
I feel like New Japan's stuck in a holding pattern, and then you got everybody's favorite clusterfuck, AEW. So it's and the only thing I give credit for the only thing I give credit for WWE doing is if they go through with it, is they're going to unify the titles at WrestleMania.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
but that's that. All that's going to do is it's you're going to end up, pushing more people out of the
hmm.
out of the picture because it's just going to become one giant show, and it's going to be. I mean, I don't understand. I don't
Unless you
understand why.
keep it Raw and SmackDown, and then you have the champion go back and forth.
So
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's nice to say that, but it's not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That way.
No, no.
It's gonna.
Eventually they're gonna split the belt up again.
Of
So
course, because that's lazy booking.
I mean, it's just what they've done it more than once at this point, so it's just going to happen again. They're going to split the belts up again. Have y'all seen this picture of the WWE titles all like the same thing, but with different colors and stuff? I've seen a picture floating around of the WWE title, but with a gold strap.
I
Have y'all
haven't
seen
seen it.
this?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, the rumor I saw attached to this was this is rumored to be the unified like belt or whatever.
But how many times have we ever seen a leaked belt design from WWE?
That's true.
No,
I never
yeah.
see it.
Never. Every time that somebody is supposedly leaked a WWE belt design, it's never come true.
Mm.
That is a fact.
Remember that
That's a
cool
good
looking
point.
winged eagle
Yep.
retro look?
Yeah.
About the Bray Wyatt belt. Hey, everybody thought that was going to come to fruition. Remember that? Oh, he's going to have his own belt. It's going to look hot. And you're like, all these leaks came out. Boom, never happened.
Well, they actually, the top row belt guys actually made that for him.
Yeah.
They actually made that for him. So he actually had his own. But I mean, and that was a beautiful belt. But it's kind of like that. They made that. Jeff Hardy belt, and then that.
Yeah.
They made that Hurricane Helms belt.
That Jeff Hardy belt.
The Jeff Hardy belt's horrendous.
oh, horrendous. Zeus showed us the worst belt around at the moment.
Yeah, what was that?
It's from GLEAT, that Japanese promotion GLEAT. GLEAT. I don't know how you say it, so I'll just say GLEAT.
Yeah, but it's like R's are L's and L's are R's. So
yeah, so
like great.
Okay, great.
Great.
Great. So they have a championship. It's the G-Rex Championship. And yeah, it's this monstrosity as y'all saw.
That belt is so bad. It makes Transformer look like the Winged Eagle.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I mean, after you see that, you're like, oh, those TNT and TBS titles aren't so bad.
Don't look so bad, are they? Oh my god, horrible looking belts. Horrible looking belts. But NXT was okay, NXT was alright. It's not too shabby, It was all right. It was sort of interesting, AEW, had its moments, But again, it's like there's no wrestling that's like there's nothing that's
Okay,
anything
James.
truly gripping.
Tell us what these supposed moments were on AEW.
I thought the Chris Jericho Eddie Kingston promo was pretty good.
Did you see that?
What did he?
Yeah, what
Did
happened?
Eddie Kingston really say to Jericho, "Where was your wife?" on January 6, 2021?
I tried to listen to it, but I don't know if I heard that.
Somebody's
closed captioning thing now.
Yeah, it's. I got to go back and listen to see if I can really hear it. But I tell you like this: at one point, I don't know if Eddie Kingston's really a good actor or he was really into the promo. But at one point, it looked like he wanted to slap the shit out of Jericho. I don't know if he was just into the promo because Eddie Kingston gets all into it.
Yeah. He's people were saying that he was really, he was kind of like work shooting on CM Punk that one time semi recently where they had a confrontation. So
I mean, I thought him and Jericho did it good. I like how Eddie Kingston goes to Jericho. Goes, this is he goes, I'm not I'm a wrestler. I'm not a sports entertainer. Chris Jericho goes, well, I'm going to bring a little sports entertainment to this. Because they were in Connecticut. Then Eddie Kingston goes, well, if you want to do sports entertainment, you can take it down the road to Stanford. And they started from there. And, and he goes, I want to fight the Chris Jericho, not the one that Paul Levesque hates. I want the one that, it was in the war with Jericho, with Tenryu and in New Japan. And, he was, they were kind of shooting on each other a little bit, and then, and then, Chris Jericho was like, well, you'll never win the big one because you're a failure, just like your father was a failure and your uncle was a failure. So all you know in your life was failure. And they were really, and I was like, holy shit. And I thought Kingston was going to wail on him at one point because his eyes widened real. And I was like, yo, is this a shoot? Is it a work shoot? And I'm like, okay. And I thought the promo got over. I thought it was good. I was like, okay.
I'm watching it with the closed captioning on right now. I have to say, Jericho, he got in much better shape versus
he did.
He had been recently.
He did.
Well, the poor guy he's been body shamed here relentlessly for the last 18 months.
Adam Cole should take notes.
He doesn't have to. I'm sure his mentions are just filled.
I mean, if you saw the size of Buddy Matthews or Murphy or whatever on
holy shit, man!
If you saw the size of him on Wednesday, you'd be like, yeah, Adam Cole would be like, I gotta take HGA, Mexican pharmaceuticals.
I gotta decide. Everybody got needles. Yeah, something because fucking Buddy Murphy looked like a fucking mutant.
He did. His abs looked weird to me. They looked almost like they were attached, like as a fake thing onto his body.
I was like, "Who's that, Wolverine?" I was like, "Look at this guy, Jesus!" And then, please, I don't want to get into that cluster. How they debuted Penta with the tombstone and the smoke and the music and some guy in a $10 vampire cake. And I'm like, well, what is this? And then they job him out.
I mean, it's hilarious, right? Because they
and a shovel.
They debuted
the shovel, man. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. Zeus, I don't know.
Legit, was the shovel a shot at Cody? Because Cody
possibly
his weapon. And then they debut this thing, and then he gets beat down the entire match. and then he gets beat down in the post match, and then they do the lights out thing, which was hilarious because Jim Ross was hilarious on this episode of Dynamite. He was in one of those moods where Jim Ross did not like what was happening, and he could not cover it up. There's multiple instances of Jim Ross just being over what they were doing on this.
The whole thing was that made entirely no sense.
But the lights come back on. There's Buddy Murphy, Matthews, whatever, and the Jim Ross is just kind of like, he's just like, what? Who gives a fuck? And Alistair Black is all like, oh, like, not you. What are you doing here? And it's like, first off, you're referencing a thing that happened in the WWE for just a second. Like, it didn't even really get to happen in the WWE, and they keep referencing this thing between them since they both left. How many people really remember this thing with them in the WWE?
Their matches in NXT were better than the main roster shit. But then again, nobody's going to remember it.
Yeah, I mean, they started a program on the main roster, and then it disappeared just as quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen, and they keep bringing it up. And so this whole deal was supposed to be like, oh, he's here to do it. And then he joins Alistair Black in beating down Penta. So Penta gets beat down 3 times. He gets beat down during the match. He gets beat down after the match, and then gets beat down again after the match. And then the post-match thing before the lights out thing, I just found this ridiculous. Alistair Black was going to decapitate Pentagon with a shovel. He was going to decapitate him with a shovel.
Not for nothing, Pedro, but I kind of wanted to see it. I'm like, okay, are they going to actually use CGI here? Like, what are they going to do? Like a dummy? Like, I was waiting for something to happen. Like, okay, how are they going to do this? I said, hey, they can set Bray Wyatt on fire. I want to see this. Like, how are they going to do this? Oh my God! They're going to play a trick? Is it going to be a head filled with candy? Like, what are they doing?
So Jericho referred to Cody as what's his name?
Yeah.
Promo.
Mm-hmm. He was like, you made his debut with what's his name? Yeah. I thought the promo was pretty good.
I like the closed captioning did AEW as awe. AEW awe.
It's one thing, talking about the Penta thing.
It was horrible.
And they actually they went to a lot of work and did a lot of stuff with the vignettes and things.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go through different things to get Pentagon Dark in Lucha Underground.
Yep.
And
but he was awesome, by the way.
Right. But you can also argue that he was probably better before becoming Dark, but I mean it was still the story.
Right.
And I think that they just when you just slap him into this character thing, it's like, well, we don't have any reaction from Phoenix, we don't have any
I was explaining this to Lex a few weeks ago. I said the minute Phoenix got hurt, you should have pulled Penta off TV. And you make a comeback as soon as Phoenix is ready to come back, you do it at a pay-per-view or you do it at a big show where, you have your tag team champions, throws down the gauntlet. I challenge any team, blah, 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 blah. And out comes Penta and Phoenix after 3 months of not being on TV. That's how you make an impact. And you save Penta from doing shit like this.
Well, I mean, but at the same time, I mean, they're paying him, and they don't want to, have somebody that's very popular sitting on the sideline.
I understand that. I get that.
But they're just, I mean, if you wanted to do something like this, fine. Just have it with some build up,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
get a
horrible.
get a dirty hotel room with Carly Perez and
Yeah, with Carly
Dario
Perez.
Cueto.
In a
I
Motel 6 with Carly Perez.
I mean, it's like here's your
MLW.
lines. You're gonna say them in 5 minutes. We're gonna make one take, and then you're gonna then it's gonna be over.
Mm-hmm. Have the air conditioning running in the background. I put another cord in the air conditioning. Oh my God, MLW horrible. But I thought that was ridiculous.
I did laugh at Brody King. So that when the lights come on, you see Buddy there, and Alistair Black's all over, doing his and but Brody King is just kind of standing there like, okay. He's just like, okay. He doesn't seem surprised or anything. He's just like, oh.
Brody King's like, I'm getting paid regardless, so I'm good.
It's weird. He seems like just anybody there. He doesn't. You remember when he was in Ring of Honor and we were seeing
he was a big deal. Yeah, he was a big deal.
We were like, oh, that dude's got potential. Like, I love the way he does this. I love the way he does that. And now it's just like, oh, he's just some dude.
Yeah, it's just, and then there's, I like the thing with Mox and Danielson. It's fine. I have no problems with that. Like a lot of other stuff I can't watch. I hate the fucking Young Bucks. I think they need to go away already. I'm tired of them. I agree. Adam Cole actually because he actually needs to win the title. Especially with Adam Cole. He has to win. He has to win the title. Here's why. Okay, because Adam Page is the AEW champion, right? In my opinion, Adam Page all his title defenses mean nothing because there's nothing behind them. There's no story behind any of his title defenses. Here's some guy comes in, I challenge you, boom, we're gonna have a bull rope match or whatever. So some gimmick match. Adam Cole beating Adam Page at Revolution makes sense because if now you have Jay White, he's with them and the Bucks. You're gonna have a returning. You're gonna have a returning Kenny Omega. They already referenced Jay White and the beef with Jay White and Omega. Here's how you separate that shitty elite faction as Adam Cole's your champion because Jay White's gonna want a shot, then Kenny Omega's gonna want a shot. That's how you create an interesting storyline. Adam Page, although I like him, his title defenses and stories the way he's being booked as champion, there's nothing interesting about it, in my opinion. It's not. It's like ho hum.
So you want the guy who you couldn't break out of a weak hug by Orange Cassidy, and they just fell off a deal, and he lost to Orange Cassidy. He must be the champion.
If he can lose to Orange Cassidy and still be declared number one contender, put the fucking belt on him. Why not? Let's do it. If you're gonna throw the rule book out the window, then let's do it right. Throw all the shit out the window, and do it. He'll be a better champion than Adam Page. He's more charismatic. He's better on the stick. He's already in a built-in compelling storyline. Because they're already starting to separate the Bucks and Red Dragons already beefing. So this whole Bullet Club elite bullshit's going to break up. And then you have Adam Cole as the middle as the champion.
What did any of y'all see the MJF promo?
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard about it, but I'm just like, for me, I'm like, wait a minute. So, you being this terrible shit bag of a guy for all of this fucking time, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to get over because you were picked on as a kid. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. You basic bitch. I mean, it's just one more steaming pile of crap on fuck that guy.
I am just hoping for a halfway decent dog collar match because the last one that AEW did was pure pee pee caca. So I'm like, if I gotta sit through this, I hope it's decent. I am not, I'm not hoping for like something spectacular because I don't know if that's possible with these two guys. But I mean, you gotta. I mean, if you're gonna have another dog collar match and this one on pay per view, I mean, you gotta. I mean, you have to reference the other one and say this is exactly what we're not going to do. You know,
they don't. They're so tone deaf. They don't. They thought that was good, man.
But that was one of the most atrocious matches I've ever seen. That was brutal.
The closed captioning did not reveal anything about.
Okay.
Because I was fucked up if he really did say that. Eddie Kingston's brutal.
That would have been awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, if he had, it's like it's a no-win situation because it's just you're talking about dude's wife, committing a criminal act, at the highest order.
Treason.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought, and I kid you not, I thought at one point Kingston was going to slap the shit out of Jericho for real, because his eyes like went whoop. I was like,
that's the great thing is, Eddie Kingston, as we, you guys saw him a lot in Chikara and and.
Oh, the
he's always been a really good promo, and
always.
He's just he can't get better in the ring, because he's just so broken.
Yeah,
poor guy.
Yeah, he's beat up, man. He's beat up.
And so he's just taking his mic skills to a whole new level.
And he doesn't take care of himself outside the ring too, so that doesn't help his cause, Well,
we don't really know that, but apparently he's not. He's not doing
half the shit he was before.
Yeah. Because everybody's different. Look at Homicide. Who would have thought a year ago the Homicide would look so fantastic now?
Yeah, true.
He must have lost 70 pounds.
Do y'all remember? Was it All Out from last year? He had Kingston had that match with Miro. He moved like better than I had seen him move in years in that match. I was really surprised. I was like, "Oh, he's moving pretty good in this match." So, who knows?
I think his time in CZW really fucked him up. Yeah, because he went to NWA Power and he was struggling in the ring.
Oh yeah, he was very limited his mobility in there.
But his promos were like A++.
Promos were great. Yeah. Did you see Britt Baker's promo with Thunder Rosa from last night?
No, I didn't watch anything last night.
So hearkening back to this thing about Adam Cole being #1 contender after losing a high-profile match to Orange Cassidy. She was
talking. Did you know that Adam Cole actually won a #1 contender battle royal in Rio de Janeiro the other day? No? Okay.
No, I did not know this. She was talking about losing that match to Thunder Rosa last year, the one with the blood and all that, that everyone overrated and stuff. And she was saying like, but everyone was talking about me afterwards, so I actually won. And I saw lots of people arguing online like, oh, that was terrible, and people were like, no, she's being a heel and this and that. I don't know.
She's in effect. Is she a great heel? No. Is she an effective heel? I think so. I don't think she's great. I don't think she's like one of the all-time. She's not Charlotte. Charlotte's great at being a heel. But Britt Baker is, I've seen, she's not as bad as people say she is as being a heel. Is she great? Absolutely not.
Well, no. Can you imagine her trying to be a face?
No, I can't.
She was trying to be a face at first. Yeah, it was terrible, but
yeah, it was horrible. Yeah.
Look, okay, Britt Baker is shit in the ring. Okay, we're just going to get this out of the way. She is not serviceable in the ring. She is complete what is it you always say, James? Pee pee caca, caca
Pure
pee pee.
pee caca.
That's her in the ring. So all she has going for her is the character stuff, which is, I mean, that's a good thing to have.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
and she improved a lot. Remember when she was doing like the worst promos in AEW, and then she turned it around, and then she kind of went too far the other direction. Like she was like, "Oh, people are liking this. I'm going to lean on this bit too heavily." And the other thing I don't like about her as a heel, or her work as a heel in recent months, is she's got these cronies. She's got these
Yeah.
cronies, and she often doesn't actually use them. Like that match with Statlander on it might have been All Out, where she has these two women on the outside and they never get involved. She beats Statlander completely clean. She never gets help from these cronies. So what's the point of being a chicken shit heel if you're not using your cronies to get an upper hand?
All right.
I don't.
Yeah, because it's just you have to make, if you're not going to lose the belt, you still need to make the challenge look good. Otherwise, why did you have the fucking match?
Right.
Which is
exactly.
it's kind of like, it goes back to the thing where if Adam Cole is just, I mean, if Adam Page is just if he's just going over these guys, and it's just wham bam, thank you ma'am, and moving on to the next one, then if there's no struggle, if we don't say, if we don't see what's going on, that he's got to battle uphill, then it just becomes boring.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? The great thing about, like, Bruno Sammartino and Stan Hansen. I mean, Stan Hansen broke his neck, and
Yeah.
people didn't. People are like, well, Stan Hansen didn't get to win the title because of that. But is he going to make the same mistake next time? Is he going to finish off Bruno? We got to see. I mean, that there was a lot of people that had a lot of uncertainty. They were fully behind Bruno, but they created that drama that holy
Mhm.
shit, he might be, he might be able to be beaten because this dude broke his neck and took him out of wrestling for a little while.
Mhm.
Zeus, you put David Bowie's Suffragette City in my head. Thank you. Because you said the wham bam thank you ma'am, and now I got that wham bam thank you ma'am.
Yeah,
Suffragette
but
City.
I digress. So somebody was saying earlier on, if you want to talk about shit that's just that bothers you, there was somebody who was saying earlier, it's like Dusty Rhodes had a 24-year in-ring full-time career, and the WWE, his time in WWE was what, a year and a half or whatever, wearing the polka dots, and that's all they want to remember. And I'm just like,
what?
Well, right.
He helped create NXT. I mean, come on.
No. But the image of Dusty Rhodes is always the polka dots.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And that's what people. He's like, that's how he felt that people in WWE, that's the only way that they want to remember him. And I'm just like, why are you expecting anything, truly honorable, from WWE as far as it comes to anybody that they didn't just completely create? And even then, who do they ever really treat, very well, right?
There's only a handful. There's only a handful of Vince's creations that get carte blanche. I mean, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. That's about it. Anybody else is like, yeah, whatever.
When I think of Dusty Rhodes, I don't. The first thing is not the polka dot Dusty Rhodes.
But when you see him portrayed in WWF,
right.
It's all, and I'm just like, but what are you expecting them to do? Are you he was like, he was a great booker. They got all that stuff from his Florida run, and I'm like going, well, no shit, and it's all on YouTube for free because they don't think that it's worth a damn because
Yeah.
that's the way they think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't understand why would you expect?
it's true. The WWE when they talk about Dusty, it's basically polka dots and his NXT mentoring stuff, right? That's basically
That's it. Yeah, there's no mention of anything else.
I mean, he's not. They don't act like he's.
They'll drop tidbits here and there, like, oh, he created the Great American Bash and blah blah blah, but that's about it.
Starcade and
Starcade.
Pretty much. The Bunkhouse Stampede.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, created War Games.
Yep.
I mean, it just.
For some reason, I heard that in William Regal voice. I don't know. War Games.
Well, I hope Regal doesn't show up on AEW.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious though from what's happened with Cody leaving that they're running out of money.
Yeah,
to spend. I mean, they're at this point where now, as we see other people get let go, we'll be able to see them move some people in.
Well, yeah, because the first wave of talent, their contracts are coming up now.
Yeah,
right. It's just like we saw that and Helico is going to be making an announcement.
He made his announcement, but he just said that he was injured and that he's getting closer to coming back and that we'll see him in the ring soon. So that's all he said.
Snooze. Who cares?
I mean, I think his contract comes up in March or May, so we won't really find out till then.
Right.
This could be just a smoke screen to.
Does it really matter?
Not really. I mean,
there you go.
But I mean,
they got too many people.
Johnny Mundo and Taya. I mean, they're
same thing.
They're not even they pop back up in Mexico and
same thing.
What's his name now? Johnny Superstar.
Yeah, Johnny Superstar.
I think that's the GCW name they made for him.
Oh boy.
I can't watch that.
Yeah, no one should be watching GCW.
No, I mean, good cocaine wrestling. These are just
good cooking.
But no. That and MLW should fuse it to shit. There you go.
Well, it kind of looked like they were, going to work together more. At
one point that they were talking about it. They're talking about how Jacob Fatu go over and do some matches in GCW, and him and Hammerstone do some hardcore shit. And I'm like, okay, Featherstone or whatever his name is.
Fatu, Jacob Fatu, he's so impressive athletically in the ring at times. It's I don't know. I always hear there's some stuff he's done in the past why like WWE and stuff won't touch him. But I don't know what it is. Do y'all or
no? I don't know. No, I you hear rumblings, but
I saw this promo he cut from MLW where he's sitting there smoking. He's smoking a cigarette.
Oh,
he's got a pack of Newports with him. He's smoking a cigarette and talking about back in the day, and how Rikishi and those guys kind of helped him out and gave him the inspiration to do something different, do something with his life.
You know what sibling is starting to get a good run now?
Oh, who?
The Usos' younger brother.
Oh yeah,
that's a Solo Sequoia, whatever his name is. Solo. Yeah. He's starting to get a big push in NXT, and the fans are starting to love him. He's actually pretty good in the ring. I was impressed with his stuff.
Well, I mean, the Usos are pretty good in the ring. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And now every time he comes to the ring, the whole crowd chants Usos. So I thought that's pretty cool, you know? And he stops and acknowledges it. And he keeps going. You know? But, like, he's better than, like I thought he was going to be. But, he's challenging Walter too. So
He's
he
challenging
should be.
the U-boat commander.
The U-boat commander and how many buttons on my uniform match.
It's so funny that Zeus
He
made
called
that
it.
he
He
made
called
that
it.
joke like so long
Yeah.
ago that he
He
was going
called
to
it.
be submarine or whatever.
Yeah. He said it's going to be a nut.
And then this happened. Like,
Yeah.
how does this happen?
I mean, it
They're
just,
secretly fans of the show, I think.
Not for nothing, but if you're Walter, how do you
Right.
stand there and go, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that would be really funny. We find out someday that somebody, one of our few tiny views is somebody from WWE Creative.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, I got this great idea.
If there's any WWE creatives listening to our show, we definitely don't. Pedro Boy definitely does not want them to push Akana and Io and all that to the moon. No, don't do that.
Oh my god! But NXT is NXT. I want to give it another week's viewing and see how it goes.
So
So we'll see.
what's the status on
Asuka?
Io?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, she's in you talking about Io Shirai?
Hey, how's
Yeah.
it going?
Yeah, she's in the Dusky Cup.
Oh, with
Oh,
Zoe.
okay.
So
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Zoe's recovered. She's not injured anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
No,
think
no. She's with she's with Kaylee Ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they make a fearsome team because Kaylee Ray comes to the ring with the bat, and the fucking Io Shirai is doing moonsaults everywhere. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think Zeus had to step out. Those two should be like having. Kaylee Ray should be a heel. First off, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
her
she's a perfect heel. Yeah,
We've talked
yeah.
about this before. Her face resembles what's the name of the actress who played the Wicked Witch of the West or whatever? Margaret, is it Margaret Hamilton or something like that?
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
So she looks kind of like her. So she naturally has a witchy appearance, and she just looks like a heel, and she just seems to naturally do that real well.
Yeah, I agree. But Pedro, she's over as a face. Her and Hero over as a team. So
well, that's
good.
I'll
Just
have to check that
let
out.
it ride out. Yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, that they're starting to get back a little. You're still gonna get your stupid shit, but you got to take that with a grain of salt. But I find the Dolph Ziggler Tommaso Ciampa angle interesting. You're finally doing something with a talented guy who was doing nothing on Monday nights.
Yeah.
Well, so it's good.
We've talked about this before. I feel the loss of the network changed the direction of a lot of things.
I agree.
Because when they had just the network, the things like NXT and NXT UK and stuff like that, the idea of expanding that was to give them more programming on their streaming service. But now that they're on Peacock, and it's just like, well, we have Peacock money, the content they produce isn't as important anymore. So it's now,
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's important. So
we can go back to 2 years ago when all of a sudden, like the minute they take it off the network and it's on USA, NXT is going to go to shit. And it did. And then after the network disappeared, that's when everything went to shit.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay. Like, no. And it's wrestling now. It's there's nothing really. There's just You have drips and drabs of interesting stuff. Otherwise, you get a bunch of Jade Cargills.
Mm.
You know, which is hey, she's over. I mean, she don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch, but she's good to look at.
She's good to look at, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and she
still
stands
can't.
in the. No, look, how many times?
No,
How
no,
many
she.
times you going to stand in the middle of the ring and flex a bicep? I mean, what? She does it 8, 9 times during the match, and the fans go nuts. Flexing a bicep, that's flexing a bicep gets you over in AEW.
I was rereading some notes I had from watching that All Out pay-per-view last year, and I mentioned how she was struggling to pick people up, and I remember reading it. I remember us talking about it on the show that we said, well, what's the point of having all those muscles if you can't really pick people up? But I don't know.
Air muscles.
Air muscles.
No, but I want to go back to my point, if you don't mind, about Adam Cole being AEW champion. I think it's the right move, because Adam Page right now, it's like,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it is.
You think so?
Only because you have Omega coming back soon, and you have Jay White's already in the faction. That's going to create dissension. Now you can add more dissension to that if the AEW World Champion is in your faction itself.
We'll see.
That's a storyline. That's built-in storyline right there.
I mean, I don't know who the person will be to take the title off of Adam Page. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest.
I mean, you do it, but you use. He's the heel. Adam Cole is the heel, so use the Bucks. Use Jay White. Use whoever you need to use to take the belt off him. And then have that's where you start dissension in the ranks. Fuck this BTE elite crap bullshit Bullet Club fake version 9.0, whatever the fuck it is. No, end it.
Saying BT, I thought we were going to Korean pop music, like what are the BTS or something like that?
Yeah, who knows? I eat one, you eat one too. Yeah.
Someone needs to make an album with that title, James.
I know. It's I watch AEW and I take it for what it is. I don't try to. I'm not expecting quality wrestling at all, because it's not. They're finally getting some stuff is finally getting interesting. A lot of Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston promo. It was interesting. It was. I got to sit through Dork Order and Jay Cargill and all this shit just to get to stuff like that.
We'll see. I mean, I hope you have a good time at the show next week.
I'm expecting the pay-per-view to be a good show.
Yeah,
I don't think it's not going to be a good show.
And again, live wrestling is always fun, even when it's bad. It's always fun. So
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna boo the shit out of the Young Bucks. If you think Gumby got booed, oh my god. Okay, I mean, I booed the shit out of Zack Sabre Jr. But
I don't know when Zeus is gonna come back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Zeus. He disappeared, or
I think he had to step out. Like, I think something was going on there.
So in school,
yeah.
I think he was motivated by a static electricity story, and then he touched something and it went out. He Zeused himself.
The funny thing about that story, like, she accidentally, like, her fingers accidentally brushed like where like I had a shirt on, of course, but like the fingers brushed like where my nipples are, right? And like, I never been shocked on my nipples. And
good job.
That hurts, actually. Like, you'd be surprised. That legitimately hurts.
You've heard it here, folks. Pedro got shocked on his nipples live on Markout Mania.
Yeah, I mean, it was just
Yeah.
an accident, right?
Yeah, no, I
Like,
know.
is but anyways,
I've been shocked for real a few times. It's not fun.
yeah, yeah, the heart stuff.
Yeah. Having a built-in defibrillator inside your chest sometimes
Yeah.
it's yeah. Yeah, especially when they test it. Okay, James, we're gonna shock you
Oh
today.
God.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh my
Who needs
goodness.
coffee? Bang, I'm up.
Whoa. I wanted to talk about a little bit this Starlight Kid Azumi
Okay.
match from Stardom this week.
Okay.
Stardom had a pay-per-view, and these two had a match for the high speed title.
Mm.
I watched the match. I didn't watch the rest of the pay-per-view, but that
So how
match,
was the match?
the match was good. It was a good match, action wise. It was a really good match.
I like Starlight Kid. She's all right in my book.
The action was really good. Okay,
Mm.
that was like never going to be like, you knew the action was going to be good because these two have been feuding since they've been around, because
Right.
they've both been there since they were little kids. Like they're literally little kids when they started, and
Right.
they've been feuding forever. And so they've had a gazillion matches, and these two just know each other really well, and they do that high speed style like really well. There were a few things I wasn't crazy about. This is why I hesitate. Like, I only say it was a good match. Like, I don't say it was a really good match, and I don't say it was a great match or anything like that. Even though the action was superb, right?
Yeah.
But while you had, like, Starlight Kid is really great at storytelling, right? She's really great at telling kind of stories in her matches, and she's really great with the selling and kind of I guess acting would kind of be the word, like kind of expressing emotions and things like through her body language and her expressions and things
Right.
like that. She's really good at all that kind of stuff. Azumi is not, as good at that stuff. She will kind of sell, but it's not really selling. She'll just get right back up and do stuff. She doesn't really sell. And
She goes through the motions.
she's not good at the acting stuff, really. She's not good
Right.
at emoting and stuff. So you kind of had, like, Starlight Kid was doing was kind of making all this stuff in the match, and Azumi is just kind of Azumi's, you could argue, is better at the action stuff. She's better at the mechanical aspects of wrestling in a way, but she doesn't have a handle on this other stuff. And I mean, she's young. She's like 19. Azumi's 19. I know she's been wrestling for 7 or 8 years, so people kind of take for granted, that this is someone who's been wrestling that long, because they still think she's like a new wrestler. And it's like, well, she's been wrestling longer than like all kinds of people. But anyways, to me, it kind of it stopped me from saying this was a great match. Like, even though the action was superb, I was like, half of the people involved was doing this other stuff, and half was just kind of focused on the action and not really. But anyways, so I thought it was a good match. And then you have Meltzer and those people and his flock, and they're like, oh, this is a match of the year candidate. It's up there with Osprey and Okada from the Wrestle Kingdom, and this, and it's and I'm just like, okay, why can't a thing just be good? Like, why can't it just be a good match? Why do people
How come
have
he
to
can't
go?
stand on his own and say it's a good match and then leave it be?
Well, why does it have to, like, just because something was good, why does it have to be elevated to this weird thing?
Right, I got you. Yeah. No, I understand.
Just let it be what it is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and and then when Meltzer was saying that stuff, Starlight Kid was like started tweeting in English, like she's almost like trying to, she's replying to him and to some of his people, like trying to, kind of like play up to them and stuff. And I'm just like, no, don't
do it. Yeah.
just she's been doing such a great job the past year. It's like, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't try to appeal to that crowd.
Yeah.
She's one of the few things I really enjoy in wrestling, and it's just like, no, don't don't go to the dark
Don't
side.
get involved with don't get involved with Meltzer and his cronies. Yeah, don't do that.
Like, Stardom has started the past year. They've started really shifting, especially the main event scene, to trying to appeal to Meltzer and the AEW kind of fans, like what they like, and that has been so depressing for me.
I understand that, Pedro, but all they're trying to do is trying to get eyes on their product, because they see what they see. Unfortunately, it's what people see here in the States is AEW, and they go gaga over it. It's unfortunate, but that's what they see.
Okay, James, let me put some things into perspective. Okay, let's put some things into perspective. I always hear the AEW fans say that the WWE fans are the loud minority of the wrestling community. Okay. So let's put this into some perspective. Have you ever looked at the social media following of these companies?
I try not to, but yeah.
Okay. So I think AEW, I can't remember if it's Twitter or Instagram. I think it's Twitter. They have something like 770,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Instagram, they have like 1.5 million followers. Okay. So that's AEW. The WWE has like something like 11 point something million followers on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 27 million on Instagram.
Oh yeah, they're the established. Yeah,
Okay.
WWE is the establishment. Remember that.
Now, okay, but James, okay, so we're talking about who is the loud minority.
Oh yeah, it's the AEW fan. They always barking and screaming.
Oh wait, hold on. Zeus is back.
Zeus is back.
Well, what's up?
Everything good there, buddy?
We had some technical difficulties here.
Okay. It was Pedro's static story that got you.
Yeah.
No, but I understand what you're saying, Pedro. I understand what you're saying.
Like, I do not enjoy Stardom trying to appeal to this. If you think about it, a small minority that is that's taking over all the wrestling conversation online. I don't like that. And like, they already dragged the main event scene like to places I don't enjoy, where it makes me edit what I watch on Stardom. And I don't want the parts I enjoy trying to appeal to that fucking bullshit crowd here for the AEW and Meltzer and all that fucking bullshit.
Excuse me. I hear you. I'm trying to wonder, like, how I'm going to react to the AEW crowd seeing them in person.
That should be, that should be great.
You're not going to see. I don't think there's not going to be as many like confrontational, annoying fucking people. There's going to be a lot of people that are really into it, but I mean, you're down in Florida. I mean, it's you got people that have been watching wrestling for a long time and they've been watching, a ton of WWE. So I don't think it's going to be quite like, being, in Jacksonville or something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, James, like we said a few times the past few weeks, live wrestling is usually fun. Yeah. Even when it's bad, it's usually fun. So you go to it, the crowds are hyped for it. The AEW fans are insane cult, right? So they're going to be way hyped for everything. Like, everything that happens, they're going to be like that kid who's at a birthday party going, "Oh my God, you got $20. Oh, wow." That's going to be all the fans. So everything's going to be exciting. So it should be fun. Like, I mean, I have no doubt if we went to an AEW show, we would have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But like,
Maybe.
you know, just
Maybe.
for instance, you remember when I went, went to New Japan Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
SmackDown and AML, in that 1 week span.
That was
And
one of the best weeks ever, man.
right. And and then that crowd at SmackDown, 10,000 strong, and there was I didn't see any typical internet
Yeah.
annoying fan.
Right.
Out of all those thousands of people that were there, they were all just, everybody was having fun, everybody was having a good time, and that's what made the show enjoyable. And like Ring of Honor, I mean, there might have been a couple of guys there that seemed a little, smarky or whatever, but I mean, nobody cared.
Right.
I mean, it's like, oh, you read the Observer this week, and who gives a shit? I don't. Nobody cares.
Right. Exactly.
So and New Japan, there were so many people that were really, they were really happy to be there, and the AML crowd, those people are fans of everything. What I've seen, most of the AML fans,
The
they watch.
AML show looks like a fun show to go to.
It is, Yeah, I mean, it's because you get treated really great by the staff from the moment you walk in.
Right.
Everybody's happy to see you. They want to get you what you need. You got super affordable concessions, and
That's always a hit.
Yes.
right. And then there's always a great seat, no matter where you sit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's always a great seat wherever the venue is.
Yeah. So
And they got another one. They had to move one. The All for the Glory show is coming up, and they had to move that because it was in a high school gym, and the gym or the school got shut down, and it wasn't. They weren't going to be able to have people in there at all to run to turn the place on and everything. So they had to move that, and it's I think it's this weekend. I think it's tomorrow.
Okay.
But
well, I know the venue pretty good because I've been there a couple of times. It's where the UCF Knights play basketball, so it's a pretty, it's a pretty sizable venue. It holds about 10 grand. So
yeah.
So it should be good.
I think you'll have a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we're gonna have a good time. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it.
You're there with your buddy, and
as long as I don't have another halitosis chick in front of me, I'll be good.
I mean, I went to probably the worst show I ever saw was that Nitro at the Astrodome.
Yeah.
At the end of December of '98, and we had a good time, even though that was a pretty bad show.
Yeah, even bad shows are good. And what's funny is you say 98 WCW. It's like probably the worst one I can remember going to was probably that War Games '98.
Yeah.
Just a few months before.
Yeah. Jay.
The fall brawl. That was great.
Yeah. The WCW had its moments, boy. Let me tell you. I was reading that somebody was like, "Oh, the AEW is AEW this version." No, AEW is this generation's version of WCW, and I was like, "That is so way off." First of all, AEW doesn't even have the lineage that WCW had. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, you can't compare that. No.
Look, James, AEW is the most amazing thing that's ever existed in pro wrestling history. What are you talking about? David Meltzer, the wrestling historian, told us so.
Yeah.
Gobble.
What would we do without him?
Yeah.
But
Now I want to go back and watch old WCW.
Zeus, while you were gone, I was talking about the Starlight Kid Azumi match. I was saying that it was a good match, but the action was superb, but there were some elements of the match that keep me from saying it was more than a good match. I just say it was a good match. And then Meltzer and people were trying to say it's a match of the year candidate up there with Okada and Ospreay, and I was just like saying, why can't it just be a good match? You know, like it doesn't have to be raised to this crazy level of expectation. It was just a good match. But and then Starlight Kid was replying in English and stuff, trying to appeal to Meltzer and them, and I was just like, no, don't
get
go the
involved
route.
With Meltzer and his cronies. Don't
go the route of like the main event scene in Stardom where they try to appeal to Meltzer. Now I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't ruin. Like she's the best thing in there at the moment.
Has AEW made Meltzer relevant again?
I mean, but
have they made it relevant again? I mean, like why?
I explained this before. To me, it's all this cycle of the same audience. Meltzer is feeding this audience what they want to hear, and in turn they subscribe to him, and it's just this one hand feeding the other. Like they want someone to quantify, to qualify, certify, you know, this thing is this, and that's what he does for them, and then they give him money. So it's just what it is. It's just this weird circle of feeding each other. So, but hey, so are we going to be on next week? Because you got the pay-per-view, don't you, James? When is it?
Hey, it's Sunday. The pay-per-view is Sunday, but I think we should be on next week. I'm going to talk to Lux and see if he wants to swing by real quick, get a little preview of the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see what's going on.
Zeus, you got anything to plug?
No.
James?
He's still busy. He's still busy being Road Warrior Scholar.
Basking in the glow of my dean's list.
Yes.
Basking in the glow. Basking in the glory. Basking in his glory.
James, you got anything to plug?
No, but other than next week, the pay-per-view. I'm just waiting patiently to see what this Dynamite is. I'm going to watch a little more NXT, and I am interested to see how my body holds up for a 4-hour pay-per-view. So it should be interesting. I've been training, saying my prayers, eating my Flintstone chewables. I'm ready to go.
I just wanted to plug real fast Friday, March the 4th. So this coming Friday, March the 4th, I'm going to have a music special on YouTube. It's a 90s Cover Jam 2. It's a sequel to last year. But this year it's loud. So everyone watch your ears. It's loud. It's got, distorted guitars and all that, and drums and bass. Loud. So
nice.
So I'll be making some rock and roll noise.
Like a 90s MTV video.
Yeah. So, but everyone take care. Stay safe. We'll see y'all next week, God willing. And adios.
Peace.